It's NFL Mailbag time here on Chat Sports. Make sure you're using hashtag NFL or Super Chat. If you missed the live show, you can ask me any of your questions always on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. My DMs are open for a reason. First Super Chat's coming in from the Lunatic. What up? Ex-LVR defensive tackle Johnathan Hankins in Dallas. Thoughts? Go Cowboys. So first off, if you're looking for a defensive tackle that's really good at stopping the run, that's what Johnathan Hankins is. He is not much of a pass rusher. He is a pretty one-dimensional run stopper. And if you're willing to go out and pay him like $4 million, $3.5 million per year, then sure, that's definitely an option. I do know the Cowboys are looking for a DT, and for whatever reason, the Raiders and Cowboys seem to just swap players back and forth. So I do think Johnathan Hankins is a good player. I don't know if he goes back to the Raiders, but again, if you're looking for a solid run stopper, then yes, I do think it's a solid player to at least keep in mind. Next question coming in here is from Nick Bruner. Should the Browns trade Baker for Russ? Should they do it? Yes, in a heartbeat. If that happens, I will go streaking on Jupiter in the 13th month of the year. It's never going to happen. No disrespect to Baker. Him and Russ, they're not even in the same ballpark. Let's go to MBK Familia. Do you think that Zeitler from the Giants is a good option for the Raiders? So if you guys don't know this, there was some news that kind of just happened here where the New York Giants, they released Kevin Zeitler, who is actually one of the best guards in the National Football League. They wanted to save some money. It depends, but do I think he'd be a good fit for the Raiders? Yes, I do. So the Raiders, they moved on from Incognito. They moved on from Gabe Jackson. Denzel Good's a free agent. The plan is still to re-sign Incognito, but if you can't do it, Zeitler, he could be a potential good option for not just the Raiders, a lot of football teams out there. All right, y'all, if you love the NFL, then subscribe to Chat Sports. It's 100% free, and we're going to be free for the next 365 days. The reason why you should subscribe is because I'm bumbling over my words here. We're going to be the number one most watched draft coverage. We're going to be the most watched draft free agency coverage. If you like live and interactive shows where guys can make fun of themselves here and there, that's us. So seriously, subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We have a lot of channels here, though. Like if you love our NFL channel, which you're watching right now, which has over 235,000 subs, you might actually like some of our other channels we got going on. So Cowboys Report, over 88,000 subs. Raiders Report, 74.17K. You can also see down below the link, youtube.com/Raiders Report. If you want to subscribe to one of these channels, we're going to put it up down below. The 49ers Report, 32.8K subs. Doing a great job there. Bears Now has been catching a lot of steam lately. A lot of rumors around the Bears, youtube.com/Bears Now. The Seattle Seahawks, one of the fastest growing channels we've ever launched here at Chat Sports. They're at 18.4K. Eagles Now, Chiefs Report, Dolphins Today. Bottom line is this: if you're looking for daily news and rumors around your favorite teams, if you're looking for crazy trade ideas, we post it on these channels all the time. But guess what? We still got 3 more channels to go as well. Shout out to the Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike. He's at 12.3. Producer Sam, he just launched his Broncos Breakdown channel. 2K subs. It's a young channel, but it is growing. And then Falcons News, 1.1K subs. If you got your favorite team out there and you want us to launch a channel for you, bottom line is this: we ask you all what channels you want, and then once we feel like that you're ready for them, we launch them. So if you want to check out our Falcons channel, it's youtube.com/FalconsTV. Let's go to this question here from Teddy Plants. Do you think the Cowboys signed Keanu Neal? Okay, this is a pretty fun and intriguing question. So Keanu Neal, who was once drafted in the first round in 2016 with the Atlanta Falcons, he was like an all-pro. He was on pace to probably be one of the best safeties in football in 2016 and 2017, and then battled some injuries 2018, 2019. Had a pretty good year, though, in 2020 where he had over 100 tackles. He's good in range, solid in zone coverage as well. For whatever reason, the Dallas Cowboys aren't really seem to ever be interested in a lot of safeties, but I actually do think Keanu Neal would be a very good fit with Dallas. So what do y'all think here? Where will Keanu Neal play in 2021? Is it going to be the Dallas Cowboys? Throw them down in the comments section. Could it be another team that needs a safety? Maybe a team like the Browns could be interesting. Maybe a team like the Ravens. Heck, maybe even a team like the Raiders. Let me know. Where will Keanu Neal play in 2021? All right, we got a super chat coming in from Emil. What up, Emil? Best defense in 2021, Cowboys or Raiders? I mean, if you're talking about the best defense, it's not going to be either of these teams. I can promise you that. But if I got to pick which defense is going to be better, I mean, I guess I'm going to say the Raiders because it's hard to believe, but the Cowboys were actually worse, and I'm hoping with a different defensive-minded coach. I know the Cowboys also have a new defensive coach as well. I'm going to go the Raiders because it's just too close. All right, next one, Wilson. Could Miami draft tight end Kyle Pitts as Mike Gesicki is coming up on the end of his rookie contract? I know it sounds crazy, but Pitts is a freak. He is 100% a freak. The issue is if you want Kyle Pitts, you got to draft him at number 3. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to do that personally, so I'll say no to that idea, and instead, Kyle Pitts is going to go somewhere else. All right, we got Mike Williams. Appreciate the super chat, my man. And if you love the show, if you want to go check out our Broncos channel, it's youtube.com/BroncosTV. Producer Sam is killing the Broncos channel. You need me as a special guest, though. I mean, you got to hit up Sam at SamBrownCS on Twitter, see what he has to say about that. All right, Cole, you're next up here. Remember, use hashtag NFL or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, I guarantee we'll put you on the show. How do the Chiefs address their wide receiver issues considering the impending losses of some players, draft, free agency, or both? So if you want to ask Harrison Graham, he's H-Graham NFL. He runs our Chiefs channel, which is also the link below. Sammy Watkins, free agent. Byron Pringle is also a pretty interesting player as well. I'm trying to think of his name. Demarcus Robinson, he's also a free agent. I think this is a team that should address the offensive line in the first round and then maybe go out and find another receiver or a cheaper receiver on the free agent market. But I don't know if it's the biggest need. You still got Travis Kelce. You still got Tyreek Hill. But I would rather you stick with a guy like Byron Pringle and let Robinson and let a guy like Sammy Watkins go. Rohit, what up, brother? Should the 49ers reunite with Sanders if Bourne leaves, or should they retain Bourne? Also, what do you think about trading up for Trey Lance and signing Joe Thuney if Williams leaves? Well, Joe Thuney plays guard. Trent Williams plays tackle, so it's a little bit different positions there. Trading up for Trey Lance, if you think Trey Lance is your guy and you can go up to maybe like 9, so from 12 to 9, maybe it makes a little sense. I don't know if you're going to go up to 7. That's pretty high for me personally for a guy like Lance. And then Emmanuel Sanders, yes, I do think bringing back Emmanuel Sanders to the 49ers does make some sense. Evan Hughes, what up, man? Should the Saints get Mac Jones in the first round if he isn't there for their first? Should they get Kyle Trask to develop behind Drew Brees if he signs another contract? So first off, Drew Brees, he's not coming back. He's going to retire. I can almost guarantee you that. Kyle Trask, I wouldn't touch in the first round. Honestly, I wouldn't touch Kyle Trask in the second round, third round. I wouldn't even probably take him in the fourth round. I'm just not a big fan of Kyle Trask, honestly. And then in terms of Mac Jones, I don't think that he falls all the way down to the Saints, which I believe is at pick 28 or 27. It's one of those two. So I'll say no to all of those. If you're New Orleans, you're probably either going to roll with Taysom Hill or you're going to roll with Jameis Winston. Whether that's the right thing to do or not is a different question or a different story. But I'll say no to the whole, basically everything you said. Let's go to Miguel. What up, Miguel? Miguel, appreciate the super chat here. Thoughts on Emmanuel Sanders going back to the 49ers? Yes, I do think it makes a lot of sense. I also think it'd be a good thing for a player like Jimmy Garoppolo or whoever they bring in as quarterback. All right, Ultra Vitamins. I love it. Do you think that the Broncos re-signed Phillip Lindsay? So Phillip Lindsay is a restricted free agent, so we'll ultimately see what they end up doing with him. He's 26 years old, 502 yards last year. His work does continue to get worse and worse, and what do I mean by that? He averaged 5.4, 4.5, and then 4.3 yards. He's undersized running back. I think the only way that the Broncos bring back Phillip Lindsay is actually if Melvin Gordon gets into even more trouble or gets suspended. I don't think that he is going to get in any more trouble. I don't think he's going to get suspended, but personally, that's the only way I would bring back Phillip Lindsay. So where do y'all think Lindsay plays in 2021? Type B for the Broncos, or I want you to type O if you think it's somebody else. If you're going to spam O in the comments, I want you to go ahead and let me know which team you think he goes to. If I'm Lindsay, I actually don't go back to Denver. I try to go to another team where I think I can really be the most effective. Maybe a team like the 49ers, but I think almost every running back wants to go play for Kyle Shanahan. Super chat coming in from Burnin' Spades. Saints are going to dump and rebuild, trade up with the Falcons. Saints get 3rd overall pick and a comp pick. Atlanta gets 28th overall pick. First round next year, 2nd this year. Alvin Kamara, thoughts? It's still not enough. For you to go 28 all the way up to pick 4, you're going to have to give up a lot more than what you suggested there. So it's actually probably so much that I don't have enough time to actually think about how much it would be. All right, we got Leo Davila. Let me clear my throat here. Actually, let me get some water before I scream. Okay, you ready? Can Miami get Melvin Gordon? Can they get him? Sure. If you can either trade for him right now, or If he does get into some trouble, the Broncos, they can void his contract and they can release him, save $7 million. If that happens, then sure, Melvin Gordon to Miami makes a little bit of sense. But if you're telling me right now, would I rather pay a guy like Aaron Jones $10, $11 million a year or Melvin Gordon $7 million a year, I'll actually take a guy like Aaron Jones, which might surprise some of y'all. Speaking of Joseph Brown, you're next up here. Do you think the Bears will get Aaron Jones? No, I do not. And will they have Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery? That would be a good trio. It would be a great trio. But I'm not going to spend $12, $11, $10 million a year on running back when I need a quarterback and I need an offensive line. Bottom line. All right, we got Akish. What do you think? Who will have a better career in the NFL, Henry Ruggs or Jalen Waddle? I'll tell you what. Henry Ruggs was a rough first year. It depends where Jalen Waddle goes. Like, if Jalen Waddle can go to a good situation, like if he were to go to a Detroit Lions, I don't know how I'd feel about that. If he'd go to a Miami Dolphins, I don't know how I'd feel about that. But, like, if you could tell me maybe he goes to a team like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head here, a team like the Giants, maybe it's a little bit better of a fit. Maybe he gets some more production. It's just, it really comes down to fit. So, I seen Henry Ruggs. I really was not that impressed. Jalen Waddle is coming off an injury and a crazy year, so I guess I'm just going to go with Ruggs because I just don't know where Waddle's going yet. All right, we got Mafi, biggest first-round bust. All right, so, I might throw this one out here, which might surprise some people. Justin Fields is a quarterback that scares the hell out of me. Kwity Paye, the more and more tape I watch on him, he's starting to scare me a little bit. Those are probably my top two biggest offense and on defense. All right, we got Jimmy Darts. What up, Jimmy? Will Seattle sign Darrell Williams to make Russell Wilson happy? Jimmy, I don't know if you're a Seahawks fan, but if you are, go check out the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Obviously, Russ is unhappy, wants an extra offensive lineman. Once Taylor Moton was franchise tagged, I personally think that this makes Darrell Williams the top right tackle on the market. He's 28 years old. The only issue is Seattle doesn't have a lot of money. So I actually think Darrell Williams is probably a little bit out of their price range. If you want to go a cheaper route, maybe go out and get a guy like Rick Wagner, who was cut from the Packers. I still think he's a really good right tackle. Kelvin Beachum. Like Williams, to me, you're going to have to pay probably $11, $12 million a year. Where if you go out and get Beachum or Wagner, that's going to cost you a lot less. I'm going to say probably around $5 million a year. All right, y'all, if I missed your question, just know that I apologize. We got a lot of questions coming in. We got 744 people watching live right now. Obviously, I can't put every single question on the show, so if we miss you, I'm sorry, but you can always hit me up. I'm on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. My DMs are open. Fantasy football, free agency, trades, Raiders, anything y'all want to talk about, I'll be there, and I promise I will get back to you. Jay Henderson, Super Chat. So Jerry Jones waited years to pay this man what he asked for. I'm dead. Someone look in the rule book. Maybe we can make Jerry fire himself. Yeah, I do think that the whole sequence was pretty crazy, but you guys would also know everything going on around the Cowboys if you check out our Cowboys channel, youtube.com/CowboysTV. If you would have just done everything that you wanted to do, if you would have done it last year, you probably would have saved yourself close to $10 million a year, but oh well, Jerry Jones got the money. I'm not too worried about it. Bird and Spades, another super chat. Falcons cut Carpenter. Okay, would they take Slater or Penny? So basically, yes, they decided to move on from Carpenter. I don't know if that was today or it was yesterday. That was one of the 2 days. Could they take Rashawn Slater or Penny Sewell? It could be at least intriguing. There's no doubt about that. They definitely need offensive line help. Rashawn Slater, though, he's a player that I do like a lot out of Northwestern. I'm just not going to take him over Penei Sewell. If you want an offensive tackle and you think that Penei Sewell is 100% your guy, I take him. I actually think that the Dolphins should take him at 3 personally. I think Penei Sewell is one of the best offensive tackle prospects that I've seen in a long, long time. The Latino 69. Everyone starts spamming 69. Let's see if we can get YouTube to block us. What do you think is the best option for the Panthers to acquire a new quarterback while still having good defensive players? So I think it's 2 options, honestly. If I'm Carolina, it's 2 options. Either you wait and you hope that a quarterback falls to you at pick 8. I am not team trade up. I don't want to trade up for Justin Fields. I don't want to trade up for Trey Lance. It's just my personal opinion on those 2 players. So you hope that a quarterback falls to you at pick number 8 is an option, or you go big and you try to trade for Deshaun Watson. I think if the Panthers could pull off a deal for Watson, which is interesting because also Christian McCaffrey, he restructured his contract to free up some money this year. If I'm Carolina, I personally am going to try to do whatever I can to either get a guy like Wilson or get a guy like Watson. All right, we got Levy D. Forget Griffin or Dunbar. Ask for Kyle Fuller as part of Wilson trade. So forget Griffin or Dunbar. So you're talking about the Seahawks, either Shaq Griffin or Dunbar. They're both free agents. Ask for Kyle Fuller as part of a Russell Wilson trade. I mean, this might surprise y'all. There's no player that's not at a quarterback position that actually means anything. I know some Bears fans get mad. They're like, how can you include Khalil Mack in a trade for Russell Wilson? Because honestly, like, if it took you to trade Khalil Mack to get Russell Wilson, the Bears would do it in a heartbeat. And I think it's funny sometimes all these like player trades that we come up with, sometimes you guys get mad because you get tied to a player. When it's a player like Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, teams will move other players because they're that good and they're that important. All right, we got Kenny. What up, Kenny? Chance of the Jaguars winning a Super Bowl at some point with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer go Jags. It's really, really hard to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to just say less than 5% chance. It's probably even less than that because winning a Super Bowl is really hard to do. They call me G. All right, tell me why. With Godwin and A-Rob franchise, who should Washington target at receiver to fit with Terry McLaurin? So luckily, they call me G. If you're watching us live, I'm about to get on my top free agents list. But I would say right now the top free agents out there, I'm not going to rank them in any order. I think Juju's interesting. Curtis Samuel's very interesting to me. Kenny Golladay is an interesting name. Will Fuller also is a name to throw out there. Corey Davis as well. So they could go a few different ways, and there's no doubt about it. But if you're Washington, hey, if you got the money, go out, spend big.